Welcome to Your Soul Wisdom, hosted by Yana Amor Manocas. In each episode, we invite you on a transformative journey delving into the profound mysteries and wisdom of the soul. Join us as we explore a wide array of spiritual topics and sacred practices that nurture and heal the soul, from reincarnation and soul contracts to the enigmatic experiences of womb alchemy and astral travel. Our discussions are designed to enlighten, inspire, and deepen your understanding of your own soul's journey. With Your Soul Wisdom, nothing is off limits. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Our first episode of the year, you guys. Another year down. What's that saying? Another one bites the dust. What does that even mean?
I have no idea.
I think it's the effect of a throat punch.
Right. Okay, so we have actually a really fun show planned for today. First episode of the year. And so we're kicking it off with answering the questions that people have submitted. And so for future episodes, if you do have any questions that you think any one of us here may have the words of wisdom to share with you, go ahead and submit them in the comments of this episode. Go on our website, and by then I should have a form ready for you to fill it out. Just email us, contact us anywhere, social media, just wherever. Just submit your questions and we will get them added. We have a lot of fun doing this, and by no means are we the end all be all. Are we experts in anything? Really,
It's
0%. Yeah. Except for Kylie, of course.
That's right.
But maybe
I'm pretty good at inventory. So if there's any inventory questions in there, I am an expert.
And if it's blocking, I'm also an expert, just so you know.
Okay. Any other questions? We will always do our best and have fun and just share what we got. Are you guys ready to dive in?
Born
ready.
Let's go.
Okay, first question. Let's get this bad boy up here. Okay, here we go. Someone wrote in and said, I have weirdly vivid dreams about the same man that I never met, appearing about once a year, sometimes as a man or woman, always different, but always him. Someone whose face is blurry, yet whose essence I instantly recognize. In these dreams, the love and connection feels ancient and familiar, and his touch feels completely real, from kisses to warmth and pressure. Ooh. Even though I've never experienced these things in real life. It only happens with him, only in my dreams, only when it's been a long time, leaving me unsettled afterward and longing for answers I never receive. If this isn't something my mind is creating, what is this connection, and why do I know it's him so clearly when he appears?
I want to have what she's having. How do you line up for that? How do you feel bad after it? How do you wake up and afterwards and like be disappointed?
This whole sense of longing, you know?
Oh my God, it would be like having a relationship in another dimension. I mean,
Without the bullshit dating.
Personally, I don't think I'd even want to understand it. I just want to experience it. It would make going to sleep more exciting. I don't know. I would have such a different reaction to this.
Well,
I would love it.
No, because I think
as a mystery
the sense that I get with it. No, I get it as a mystery, but the sense of it I feel is like there is so much color and texture and feeling in this thing that happens once a year, and then you're left in the rest of your life and you're not having that in there. So I just feel like the sense of the loss is there. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a grief or a loss or something, and it's like there's all this, like, think of it like dreaming in color and then your life's black and white. There's something missing. So I think we can all agree
just realized
this is some sort of soul connection.
There's no guarantee of color again either.
Well, that's right. Like, and also the way it feels in that time space continuum or that reality or whatever it may be may never actually be felt on the planet in their real life. So it's like,
Yana can't cope with this stuff, whereas I love it. But she and I just go in the opposite directions.
But her question is that if this isn't something that she's just creating in her mind, what is the connection? And
well, could it actually be that this person is, because we don't know obviously about this person's background, but what if they are a traveler? What if they are a time traveler? What if they are moving multidimensionally through time? And what if this is something that is actually happening in another space or time? The only place that we can actually access it is in the dream space. But it doesn't mean that it is a dream. It could actually be a whole other life that's been lived at this moment.
Or
so it's very
lives.
real, you know, or multiple lives. Do you know what I mean? For example, okay, let me just give you an example here. I'm watching Outlander, okay? And for anybody who doesn't know Outlander, it is about time travel. But one of them in it, I mean, like, don't really want to give anything away. So if you don't want any sort of giveaways, then stop. Well, no, don't stop listening. Listen. Right. But just put your fingers in your ears. Yeah. So he can, so they can, so she can travel through time. He can't travel because he's an anchor. But what happens is that he can dream into the future. So he can step into the future through dreams. And so he's actually stepped into the future and met his daughter. He's actually kissed her. And where he's kissed her is that it's left a birthmark.
oh,
So but so he can dream parts of the future, but he can't actually go into the future or back in time. So, but it's actually happening. It's very real. So what if it is the case that this person who sent in the question, that they are actually traveling and moving through time?
Well,
Could be.
can we strip it back to a fundamental level? Even if you are traveling, I think it's coming down to the fact that this person enjoys this emotion and this feeling, and they're not experiencing it in their real life. So is it real? The feeling is real regardless of what dimension it's in. So what are we, what elements are we missing in our real life, in our woken life, in our day life? What are we missing that we're not able to connect on that level? Have we not met the partner? Are we desiring more from a partner? Are we trying to manifest and it hasn't gotten out of that space and been created in your real life? Are you taking action to make that happen in your real life? Like, just because you dream about it and you're experiencing it in whatever dimension it is doesn't mean that you don't get to experience, you have options to experience that on some level in your wake life.
So can I answer
with or without seeking a partner as well, just by the way.
True,
you can clue
absolutely.
into whatever emotions you're seeking.
Exactly.
And then see how you can emulate that.
Like, life can generate that kind of feeling if you allow it in general.
What was the question again? Can I just ask, what was the actual, I don't mean the whole question. I mean, was she asking, is this real, or what was the question?
If this isn't something my mind is creating, what is this connection, and why do I know it's him so clearly when
he appears? Right. I do think, right. So for me, I'm going to say, I don't think this is about, for me, my take is that I don't think it's about something that is or isn't in this lifetime, because that's not the question that she's asking. She's actually asking about, is this very real, and am I creating it, and why does this person feel so real? I think it's because she's actually experiencing this multidimensionally.
Yeah,
and it
is real.
This is a real lifetime that's happening somewhere that she's experiencing. She's got a glimpse, and sometimes we can get those glimpses. We can get those sort of bleed throughs. I do call them bleed throughs. They're sort of like time slips, whereby we get access to it and we can feel or see. That's just like how sometimes people can see someone coming before they come. They already see the guy, or they see the woman, or they see whoever it is before they come. They feel him, they see him. The person's actually there, it's present. I do think this is happening. This is whether it's happening, and I don't mean that another lifetime means that it's a whole other, like it's a past life or whatever. It could actually be them in an alternate reality. Or
and also in the question,
Kylie.
Go ahead, Lauren. I'm going to come in after you, though.
I'm going to go in after Kylie.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say, in the question, they're saying, how do I know it's them? Well, that would be a soul recognition resonance thing. But they said that sometimes it's a man and sometimes it's a woman. And this is not necessarily, it may not necessarily be a romantic thing. I mean, I know there was talk about touch and things, but it didn't necessarily say. I know we made it romantic, Yana. It may not be.
Jana's voice is actually ready.
Yeah. So
It's like Yana read it.
Yeah, it's the way Yana read it. We just all think that way. So, you know, it could be like, what if it's a guide? You know, what if it's an alternate version of themselves? What if it's a soul group connection? All of these things. There are all of these possibilities. And I don't know, does it happen on the same day every year? Is there a significance to the date, or is it just roughly once a year? I'd like to also know the themes, like what happens in the dreams, like all of these things. But
we need the whole novel, the erotic novel version, please.
Yes. So I would say it's definitely real. You're not making it up, but it's definitely a soul connection. But we sort of need more context for the rest, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, next,
I'm going to disagree.
Ooh.
Yeah, look out. No, and look, I fully appreciate and totally not saying this can't be the case. I just think, and I think Rachel and I are probably in alignment with this, I think it's just highlighting a missing point in your everyday life. And it's a simple, it's manifesting as a man, it's manifesting, the emotions are real. I don't necessarily subscribe. You know how I feel about parallel lives and whatnot. But I'm just saying, I think very black and white, because that's how I roll. And I know it's not for everyone. I think it's just bringing up a lacking of that emotion in their awake life. Rachel, you better back me up now. I set you up.
No. Well, what I was actually going to say, just so that you know,
everybody else,
regardless of what's happening, that Rumi quote comes up for me, which is, whatever you are seeking is also seeking you. Yes. So just remove it being 100% personal. Do you know what I mean? Like, if this is a thing, it's a co-creation, collaboration event. It's, something also for her to receive and participate in an equal amount, that kind of stuff. And yeah, I do, like you, kind of get really tired of how so many times the analogies or the solutions come back to romantic partnership. And literally that is at best something that is like, that actual sensation is in the course of a lifetime fleeting, if you know what I mean. Like, you still need to look after yourself, even in romantic relationships, and be able to produce those feelings. Externalizing it out to another relationship is not a course to happiness.
Right. You're setting yourself up for failure, potentially.
Well, eventually it's definitely going to happen because it's too much. It's the other person can't hold your space forever.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not understanding what you've just said, in the sense that if it exists and somebody has that experience, then it exists. It exists. It doesn't mean
the
that
emotions exist.
Well, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that because it may foretell sort of like bad stuff on your current relationship or whatever it is that you may or may not be in, that this doesn't exist. It does exist. It's existing for her, and it's very, very real, because as she said, it's very, very real. So I don't think you can just play it away or just say, well, relate it to something that's in your life or not in your life right now. Yeah. Because she's saying this person, she's,
Yeah, that was me, because when Yana was reading the question, I could feel sort of the sense of loss and longing. Like, I feel like it's a connection that they'd like to have more. So I'm the one who kind of put that out there. It wasn't actually in the question, right? Which is when I kicked it off, it's because I could feel that in the word. Yeah, but
for the record, anything, a thought is real. Just so if I have like a dream is real, but everything that is, it all actually happens inside you anyway. Even this concept that we call reality is still our perception of what's happening outside us. Everything is happening inside us, our dreams, our thoughts, our daytime experience, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's definitely a real thing. It's just like, if you're looking for meaning, I just plead with women to just not always make it about seeking romantic relationships. That's not there's other paths to experience whatever you want to experience.
Yeah, but this one definitely does feel like there is that, like you feel it in the words, like Lauren was saying. There
Yeah.
is
You feel the
whatever
intensity
it is.
and the intensity, but it doesn't necessarily mean sexual.
No, it doesn't. And it also could be like a longing, like a soul group longing, right? Like that homesickness, that this person, I recognize them, I miss them, that sort of a thing.
And if this woman is actually having this experience, so isn't also that man also having that experience with her?
Yeah.
Right, which is like, where's he at? Like, I'd like for him to write in and tell us what it feels like for him. Is it sexy on his end, or is it,
it may not? Because it may not. They may not, purely because they may not have the ability to access that kind of a frequency.
Yes,
So
we agree on something.
But is there not a version of that other soul that's having that interaction with the woman who wrote in?
Okay, so I'm going to have a different answer to Kylie now, because I'd be saying that, well, if it is in another timeline, what do you want them to do, to write into this timeline? What I'm saying is that if she is experiencing shifts whereby she in the dream state, she's able to access this, because in the dream state is when we're at our most relaxed and when we go into different types of waves. Okay, and so probably when she goes into a particular type of space or wave, whether it's, I don't know, delta or whatever kind of wave, she's able to access this part. How do we not know that all of these, for me, the way I work, all of these, say, other multidimensionalities, like how Rachel was saying, how do we know that they don't actually exist inside us? So we just don't have the ability to access it all. And it's not dealing with our bullshit, Kylie. It's just the fact that we just don't have the knowledge or the access to the point of that we are multidimensional. These dimensions exist and we exist in them. It's not empty of us. We exist in all of it. So I don't know. That's all I can say.
All right. Well, are we moving on? Are we ready? Are we done with this?
Yeah, I think that was a lot to think about. There are bits everywhere.
And thank you for that person for writing to us.
Yeah, for writing.
Yes, and if you are the male that's in that dream, write us to let us know your side of the story.
Send us a letter.
Having pressure and loving thoughts.
But you know what? That's like that film. Do you ever see that film with Keanu? What's his name? Keanu
Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. I do love him. I really do like him, and I like him in the other one. Anyway, that's the film that he's in with the, oh my God, what's the other lady who he did that bus with, where the bus was the runaway
Sandra
bus?
Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. They did one that was, I think it was called The Glass House, or it was called The Something House, whereby they had both stayed in that, I think they both stayed in that same place, but they were sending each other letters, and it was literally going through time, because he was staying in a completely different time and sort of decade to her. And he would put things in the letterbox, but it wouldn't, it was going either backwards or forwards. I can't remember. Anyway, it could be like that. So if he is, send us a letter. Send us
I think Amanda, we need a list of all of the movies that include like interdimensional time travel and all this stuff, so that we can watch them.
Impressed with the movie catalog.
Okay, her movie knowledge. I know.
Amanda flick. We don't need Netflix.
No, but if anybody's experienced anything like that, I'd be very interested to hear that story. So send it in. Okay, you guys, we're almost 20 minutes in.
Next question.
I don't want to disagree with Amanda. Bring up the next question.
Questions an hour are good.
Okay. Next listener wrote in, I know this is vague, but is anyone else getting a persistent feeling that everything is about to change? I mean everything, the world. I keep getting the feeling that we are on the precipice of a huge and dramatic change where everything will be different. Maybe spiritually, like a shift in consciousness. Maybe technology, maybe just the United States and how we live. No, I think it's bigger than that. Every day, the thought and feeling comes to me, but I can't nail down exactly what it is. So,
yes, next
I'm going to go first.
Okay.
All I've got to say is buckle up.
What movie are you going to pull from?
no movie. I just said buckle up. That's it.
I know. It's going to be awesome. Yay for living in this ball of rock.
Well, with human design, they do say that humans are actually changing their structure in 2027 from then on. And
Yeah,
it's
from
already
then on.
starting to now. I keep hearing 2027 over and over again for change and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, like, if you look at human history, like, it's like any of those charts, you know, we are on a trajectory, and yeah, it will get to the stage when it's almost a straight line. So we'll be changing so much and so rapidly in comparison to where we are. You just don't know where you are on the line until it gets to the end or changes.
Well, speaking though of soul contract numbers, though, you know, 2027 is 11-2. So that is a death and rebirth. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what does happen next year. I certainly feel on a personal level, everything's about to change. On a global level, I don't like to make assumptions or comments, but what I am doing is I am sitting back and I'm watching and I'm paying attention, because I know I need to pay attention. It's about as much as I've got.
Well, I can tell you,
speaking, there is a lot of dismantling of regimes coming up over the next few years. And it is really important to observe, and Lauren brought up a good point, to observe, but to also not absorb. It's good to not put your head in the sand, but you don't need to absorb it if it doesn't apply to you. You get to hold the ground, you know, be grounded and hold the energy for everyone else who's going through it.
Yeah, otherwise it'll send you into chaos, right? So
absolutely, it will destroy you.
We are in chaos, but we are in chaos. And chaos, I think, does have to happen, because when things are being dismantled, it will look and feel like chaos. And it definitely is chaos. But there are a lot of different structures that are being dismantled. And you know what? They're also showing up. What was been done behind closed doors, and what was been done underground, and what was been done under the mat and behind everybody else's back, and you know, it doesn't affect me, doesn't trouble me. It's showing up in our faces, in order for it to be seen, and to be in a word, what's the word? To be seen and to be, I don't know if it's even to be cleansed, but people have to, I think people now have to start taking notice and like, you know, standing to attention. I do think people have to start taking notice. And I think, like Kylie said, not burying your head in the sand, you know, getting yourself into a place whereby you can actually utilize the tools that you have. Not everybody does the same thing. And sometimes it is for you to hold the space, and it is for those that will do, but you're going to hold that space for them in order to be able to do that. But we've all got to start opening up our eyes now and really seeing what has been shown and listening to what we're being told, because they're telling you what they're doing before they do it. And we need to be aware of that now. We need to start being responsible human beings.
All right. Okay.
Well, anyway, in a different way, and it came up in my session with Lauren yesterday, what I have certainly noticed as a personal experience is my continually coming back to the human condition of trying to classify things as good or bad or wanted or unwanted or for me or not for me and all this kind of thing. And in every way, it seems to be that life is presenting obstacles for me being able to do that. And I'm going to have to accept that the whole freaking lot is grey. Like, there is absolutely no extremes at all. It's a circular spectrum. It's not even a line. Do you know what I mean? It's like one of those color charts that you choose every color from and nothing's more valuable or anything in that. That's what's coming up for me over and over again. Have any of you had that kind of experience? I know Lauren had it with me yesterday.
I don't think I'm quite understanding the concept.
Okay, I'll make it like, for instance, there, you know, the way that Lauren and I got to it is that I am getting very, very confused about world politics now. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say 5 years ago, I would have had fairly firm opinions or knew where I stood or understood, for want of better words, who my team was, and now I don't understand any of it. Sort of,
you know, that is a really interesting point.
It's like and it's not even like I have left the teams. It's like the teams have left me even. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like, I feel like I'm standing exactly where I was, and my view and opinion and values haven't changed, but everything around me has just gone away, split. So
that's exactly, and I think it's our need as a human to be a part of a community and to connect with others and have that emotional connection. And we pick these teams, and then we stand back, and our ideologies are kind of questioned, like, why is that? And it was like, well, because it's always been that way. And now it's like, well, hold on, now I'm open and I'm listening to both sides. And it's really quite a lost feeling. You don't know who to believe. You don't know where to come to. You don't know. You want to find a community to be a part of, but then you just have to go back to yourself and just be like, you know what, I don't have the answers. And that's okay. And it's okay to not take a side. I'm just going to ground into earth and just plant myself here and watch it.
And I think it is good to have sort of, as, you know, in part of your mindset, that it's okay to change how you thought about things. It doesn't mean that you were, quote, wrong before. It's just that's how it was then and that's how it is now. And, you know, I think we have a tendency to then be like, oh, you know, what was I thinking? Or, you know, judge ourselves for whatever reason. And I think that, you know, this question's about change. Change is a constant in this life. We know that. It's, you know, everywhere. So having the flexibility to adapt and move with the wave and the tide and whatever else is coming at us is really important, and just to not judge yourself for it.
Okay.
Amanda's deep in thought.
Well, I think that's I think we need to just put a pin in that, because that is a topic that you can address for forever. Oh yeah. Especially now that we have access to everything. And so you're getting so much coming at you from both sides, good, bad, and ugly, and indifferent, and all of that. And I think that's why more people now are kind of like, I don't know where I belong. I don't feel like I fit in either team. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing at all. No. I think now people are able to kind of start thinking for themselves instead of that mind or that hive mentality. Is that what it's called? Hive mentality, or yeah. And group mentality. Okay. So are we good to move on?
Yes.
And thank you again for your question.
Yes. Okay. Next question. I feel like accepting myself is the key to accepting life and others, and that true self-acceptance is freedom. Yet truly getting to know myself and accepting who I am feels really hard. I know it's a lifelong process, but I'd like to speed it up. I'd love to hear about what actually helps you and how you learn to fully accept yourselves. Anybody want to start on this one?
Such a tricky one. I wonder if they have a 14-part
Lightbody.
The thing that rushes in for me, which I know is not the kind of the question, but is like, if you could know yourself completely, wholly now, there was nothing more to discover, there was nothing more to uncover, how would you truly feel, and what would you do with it then? Like, okay, great. So you get to know yourself, and then now what?
And accept
what are
yourself.
You going to do with what? And you accept yourself, and then now what are you going to do with your life?
Well, but it wasn't.
Well, but this is what I mean. But if something rushes into your mind, if somebody asks you that question of like, well, if I knew myself, I would go and be a visual artist, or I would go and I would start writing books, or do you know what I mean? Like, it's actually a conduit to try and see where you're heading, whether you know yourself or not.
But it was more about acceptance, right? Acceptance of who you are. I believe the path to acceptance is self-discovery. I don't think it's the easiest thing to answer, because I feel like it's sort of different for everyone of how to start accepting yourself. And we've all done a lot of work here, right? I mean, I'm not fully there. I mean, and I've been working for over a decade on this stuff. So I think that the first thing that something really important, I think Rachel was talking about in the collective live call the other day, is about giving yourself grace and being kinder to yourself is like literally the first place to start. And then from there, see how you, from that's the most important thing. If you're not doing that, nothing else is going to work.
Yeah.
Well,
on the back of that, I'll say, I think it's about falling in love with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. And I've always sort of been on that sort of wave. And what does that mean? That means that sometimes you just have to look at all of the stuff about yourself and just say, okay, put it like this. Do you know how many people, I think we spoke about this before, are afraid to actually look in the mirror and actually look at themselves, really look at themselves and see themselves? It's a tough deal for a lot of people. And so sometimes there's lots of things that you can do to self-acceptance, is just being able to just, like you just said, Lauren, about giving yourself grace, giving yourself ease. And for me, I think just about falling in love with yourself. I love myself. I do. I think I'm an amazing person to be in love with. And that's not ego. Life and Matrix will tell you that that's ego. You're not supposed to say those things or do those things. I love the good and the bad. I'm by no means perfect. I don't need to be perfect, because all those different bits and pieces about myself are things that, is interacting with life, is interacting with my family. There's all of those different types of things. And there are lived experiences that I can move from. So for me, it really is about just, when we talk about accepting yourself, you just have to just love yourself. You have to love yourself through all of the stuff, the good, the bad, the beauty and the ugly.
Yeah,
and you cannot ask of anybody else what you're not willing to give to yourself. It's how to do it. Yeah. How did I do it?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Oh, I just got into a space. I think, I'm trying to think, because there's so many things that I've done throughout my life, and there's so many different modalities that I've gone through, and also going through, I think, team exercises or team trainings whereby I've seen other people react and do certain things, which is why when I spoke about the mirror exercise, watching people, I went through a Louise Hay training, teacher training years ago, and that was one of the exercises that you're taught to do. And I was shocked to see how many people couldn't look at themselves in a mirror. Just couldn't sit with a mirror in their hand and look everywhere else. And or some people, as soon as they looked in the mirror, they started crying. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, what is going on? And I'm thinking that, do you not look in the mirror every day? What I realized was that people were looking in the mirror, and if they look in the mirror to do their hair or do their face, not really seeing themselves.
Right.
They're not really looking.
For what's wrong.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, you're not looking for what's wrong. They're just not
into what to fix up in their face
at themselves.
Right. And then that's it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's it. But they're not really looking. And the moment that they're given that opportunity to do that, it was such a huge exercise. And I think it's the one exercise that stayed in my head all these years. And I did that, I would have said 16 years ago. I think it was 16 years ago, something like that, years ago. That's the one exercise that stayed in my head. And so for me, how did I do it? I think for me, I just started to learn what I was good at. How did I accept myself? I learned what I was good at, I think.
It's interesting too, because I feel like so many people have associated their acceptance of themselves with what other people, family, friends, society accepts of them. And so I think a great way to really start loving and accepting yourself is stop giving a shit what these other people think about you. When we just had our collective call a few days ago, and Kylie did one of her healing sessions was dance related. You left your camera. You think I would sit there and go, oh, I should probably just turn off my camera and just dance like a wild maniac? But I was like, why am I going to turn it off? I love what I see, and I don't give a shit how ridiculous I look dancing on the screen, people watching me, or what I say in life, or how I act, the things I do, the choices I make. Once I start to step in, I'm not calling anybody out on that. I am not. I'm using myself as the example.
I'm laughing at you sending me a clip of me dancing on the collective call at this stage.
No,
I want in on that
a
video.
zoomed-in clip of me.
Well, because like when I was rewatching. Right, rewatching.
Don't get me wrong. I thought I agree with you. I honestly think that everyone looks dancing. If you're smiling when you're dancing, you look great. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? If you feel like you're an idiotic dancer, just smile and you'll look fantastic.
But
Well,
I do think this.
anyone with dancing, which is, I know, not your point, Yana. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, no, it's not about how am I going to look to people. I didn't care because I was enjoying myself and I moved the way that felt right to me, regardless of if nobody was looking at me or if everybody in the screen was looking at me. And for me, I will tell you, I couldn't have done that before or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I would have just kind of like, went like this and called it a day. So
I think though, the point to that though is it takes practice.
Can I literally just jump in there?
Yeah.
Can I? Because isn't it funny that for me, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, I did care, but I didn't care who cared that I did care.
Right.
I'm switching off my damn camera because I felt freer.
Because you're comfortable with yourself.
Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, absolutely. So it's actually more about acceptance of your behavior and actions and not caring what other people think. Absolutely. But the thing is, it does take practice. And for those people, because it's all conditioning, right? We've been conditioned.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So the thing is, it's deciding to make the change and then putting things into practice and then understanding that you are going to feel uncomfortable. But it is how you love yourself through that uncomfortability that will change the acceptance piece. Right?
Beautifully said.
And
And give yourself
also
a pat on the back.
Yeah.
These are the things that we don't do.
And my mantra is what Amanda said a really long time on a podcast is, how can I love on myself? I say that to myself really regularly. But I do think too that the other piece is sometimes, I mean, this question came through to us, so I'm sure they're, on their spiritual journey, but I don't think that I could come fully to a place of acceptance and love of self if I didn't explore that part of me too. So I do think it's self-exploration, practice, knowing that you're going to be uncomfortable and being willing to sit in it and work through it, having your own back, right?
Yeah. Have patience. Have patience with yourself. Have patience with yourself. The small things that you do, you know what I mean? And sometimes that's how it can start. Just the small things that you do, you just pat yourself on the back and say, wow, that was great. That was a great meal. Or that was a great, you did that hairstyle today. Listen, Amanda, don't touch it. Don't tease it. Don't do it. Yeah, literally, it's those things. And those things also, they can make you laugh. They can make you do all of those types of things, but it takes all of that heat, all of that energy out of it that you don't, and then you don't require it from anybody else. Because I'm good. Do you know what I mean? I'm good. And so I think, like Lauren said, those are the steps. I think I would follow through those steps and have patience. Just have patience.
And I think a big point, Amanda, though, you just said it, is that the little things really matter. They really matter. The little things.
Look, you guys have covered all these notes that I wrote down to contribute. But one of them was, I really encourage people to think about their relationship with themselves as like an arranged marriage and that they can't get out of. Do you know what I mean? So, this is what I mean is like, and I've talked to you guys about this before, about all the different versions of rage and how you can really develop a lovely relationship with yourself if you actually start thanking morning rage for doing something as afternoon rage. Thanks, morning rage, for getting lunch organised. Do you know what I mean? That's great. So now I don't need to do it now. But it makes you more aware. It helps you treat yourself better. It makes you more aware of things. It makes you more forgiving when morning rage freaking didn't do the dishwasher for afternoon rage. Do you know what I mean? Like it's and
then sometimes when you're doing it, you're like, oh wow, morning rage is like, oh, afternoon rage is gonna love this.
But it's always nourishing you. Do you know what I mean? And it just brings you back to your relationship with you, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and can I just say as a final note, the speeding up process, you're missing out on having this internal dialogue and these little bubbles of love and joy that you're giving yourself.
And really getting to know yourself.
Absolutely. Because now I'm adopting Morning Kylie, who did something. Now I'm going to be saying that. Thanks for that.
I like that.
Afternoon Kylie better get her ass in the gear. I'm just saying.
But otherwise,
Right.
evening Kylie's going to be in all sorts of trouble.
That's right. We're going to have
We're totally fracturing everybody, but okay.
I do understand, and it's not like that. I understand.
No, I'm
but
just
not,
kidding.
and
I'm
believe me,
kidding.
I'm not trying to split out my personality like that. It's
Oh, no, I
encouraging
think
me for
I'm-
me.
No,
It's a
I
part of
think
me
it's
now,
very
Rachel.
good. I think I like
I
that.
love that.
I like that, and I'm going to
And-
adopt
and
that.
every
Do you
now
know
and-
what?
yeah.
In all joking, in all seriousness and joking and serious and joking and going backwards and forwards between that, I love what you just said. I love that, and I think I'm going to adopt that and see how it goes, just for the fun of it. Do you know what I mean? And as Kylie said, we're missing out on having that conversation with ourselves. I mean, I have that conversation with myself, and I think we all do. But I think that's a really good point to make.
Evening
yeah, I
Rach
think-
loves looking after early morning Rach. So early morning Rach wakes up to a great day. Do you know what I mean? When
love
she's
that.
woken up and it's such a good start. And so
Yeah, but also I have found
Yeah.
myself at times going, "Oh, future Lauren's going to be really happy about this." So I just haven't done the retrospective. So I'll be like, "Okay, I'm going to thank
We're all
myself in
changing our
both
mindset
directions."
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to have beefs with my morning and afternoon self at evening time. It's going to be great.
Oh boy, I think we're going to get told on this. Some kind of therapist or so is going to message us.
Okay,
That's
next
going to be real,
question.
right? And then
Next
gonna be
question.
like, yeah.
I'm sitting in my car outside of my job, and all I want to do is go back home. This is one of the worst jobs I've ever had, but I can't quit. This is not where I thought I'd be at 29. I'm so unhappy with my life. I cry. Sitting and thinking about my life makes me want to cry right now. Every day is the same. I don't tell my family and friends how I feel daily. When people ask me how I'm doing, I lie. Any advice through this?
Oh, God.
Can I
I've
just-
been
can
through
I-
this.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of, like, if I knew then what I know now, and how if 42-year-old me can go back into 29-year-old me, I'd be like, oh my God, do not worry about the things that are plaguing you right now. Everything changes. Life gets better. Life does get easier. Everything is a moment. It's not a forever, whatever the struggle is. And if I just had some of 42-year-old perspective where you live more, you get through things, you understand, like, nothing's going to break you. You can get through anything. I feel like it would have been such an easier ride to get to where I'm at. And so I think one of the first things to start with is whatever, this listener is going through right now, it's for this moment. It's not a forever. And so, you're not bound
This
to
too
this.
shall
It will
pass.
change. Yeah, this too shall pass. Absolutely.
It will,
Absolutely.
but the biggest thing that I guess stuck out for me was that they haven't told anybody and that they lie.
Yep.
So firstly, thank you for telling us.
yes.
But I would encourage them to have that conversation too with someone in their life that they trust, if that is a possibility, because when we keep things inside, they become so much bigger. And, like Yana's talking about her 42-year-old self. Also, when you talk to other people, they've had other experiences, so they can shed some light on your particular situation. But I think that keeping it inside makes it bigger, and it's lonely and it feels harder. So I think it'd be really good to share that with someone that you trust.
Can I say something on the back of that? So, yeah, everything, all that you guys have said, but just something that's quite practical that I've noticed in my life. So I have like youngsters, young children, young people in my life that my kids, and so they're all in their sort of late 20s and 30s. You know what I've come to realize, and actually I came to realize this as well through a friend that, a lot older than that people nowadays, they are changing their jobs regularly.
All the time.
You no longer have to stay in a job for 5, 10, 15 and 20 years to show commitment. Nobody cares anymore. What comes through is your value, what you believe that you have to bring to a job and what makes you happy. Because when you're happy, then you're doing the best that you can. If you do not like your job, then start looking for another job. Interview, go for interviews in jobs. If you can get them, you go for an interview in a job, even if you think, I don't have all that they're asking. But you use that interview as a like a what's it, like a test interview. I know that my son used to do that. Do you know what I mean? He would go for a job and say, yeah, I don't think I have everything that needs, and that's okay, because I'm going to get the information that I need from this job. Do you know what I mean? That will fill in that space. My children, it's not that they're not consistent. I mean, like, one of them's been in a job for like the last, I think 4 or 5 years. But even when they're in jobs, they are looking and they're shifting. One of my kids, he's been in retail for most of his life, and since I think he was, 17, 18. He's just recently changed his job and gone after what he wants to do. He wanted to be a chef, and that's now what he's doing. And he left, and that's what he's doing. Do not stay anywhere whereby you don't love and you're not happy and you're not valued because you think or believe that there's not something else out there. The minute that you do that, then you yourself are closing down all the doors of possibilities. So start to look, start to put your feelers out. What is it that you want to do, and go out there and do it. And then go out there and do it. And even so, sometimes people stay in jobs because that's what they told their family they wanted to do years ago. When I grow up, this is what I want to do. So they go to uni and they come out of uni, and then they get that job. And then they realize, well, actually, this isn't what I want to do, but I don't know how to change because this is what people expect. This is what they've always seen me as. And I don't know how to tell them that, you know what, I want to leave this really sensible job that I hate, that's paying me decent money, because I want to go back to, I want to go to acting school, or I want to go and do this, or I want to go and do that. So it's about other people's expectations of you. You've really got to, this is kind of like the last question though. How much you've got to really be just loving on yourself. And I know it's hard to make those decisions. This is a biggie. There's a lot that okay, I'm going to shut up.
Well, no, honestly,
made any sense.
What comes up for me, and hear me out before everyone starts judging me, okay? So honestly,
what I judge you.
Well, you don't know what I'm going to say yet. Trust me. I personally would be. Anyway, just listen.
You'd be judging us.
What I'm interested. What I'd be interested in is, is this person taking even basic care of themselves? I'm not talking about future Rach and dishwasher Rach. I'm talking, are they at least having a few glasses of water a day? Are they having proper real food, like that they enjoy eating, that's nutritious? Are they going for a walk? I'm not asking if they're sleeping well. Are they making an effort to get to bed before 10, this kind of thing? Are they trying to keep their thoughts in present mind consciousness? And I'm not saying that's the solution. I'm saying if they're having trouble doing that, then they need help. And I'm not saying what help they need, but they need to seek some help. And if they are doing that consistently, or if they do that consistently for 2 weeks and are still crying in their car, they definitely need help. Yeah. But at the same time, maybe just some basic self-care and some, just to ground themselves and that kind of thing. They might have I'm not saying that everything's going to be rosy. I'm just saying that they'll be grounded enough to have a perspective. Strategy may naturally come to them, that kind of thing. But yes,
I totally agree with you, Rachel. I totally agree. Everything is so much more difficult when you haven't slept well, or you're not eating well, or any of those things. How the relationships in your life, all of that. So it is important for any aspect of our life to have a really good grounding, and basic self-care, like you said. That's not even the extra bits.
Are you spending 4 hours on your phone a day? You know what I mean? Like just I know, but you're not crying in your car. So do you know what I mean? It depends on what's happening, but you need to take some notice of how you're contributing to your own instability. But I'm not suggesting that this person is. I'm saying that if they are doing all of this and they're feeling like this, then I would say that they need to reach out properly, possibly.
I do think sometimes when you're in jobs can do that to you. Jobs can do that to you based on also the people that you're working with. Sometimes you can have the shittiest boss out of hell. Do you know what I mean? And so I think for myself, for this person, I think you know what? Aside from everything else, like what you guys have been saying and like what Lauren was saying, the thing that did stick out in my mind was the fact that, you've you know, I mean, the not telling everybody else the truth about how you're so unhappy. But I also think, you know what, sometimes when there's situations like that, for me, it's a thought process. You sit in that car and you have a good cry, you have a really good cry. And then, you know, you think to yourself, like for me, like I just said earlier on, this too shall pass. And you know what? This job isn't going to last very long because I am already on my way out. I'm already on my way out to bigger and better things. Do you know what I mean? There is absolutely something else out there that I know I'm going to love doing. And sometimes it can also be that person's like that because they don't know what it is they want to do and they can't leave, because financial constraints and all of those other different types of things. And, you know, and the need to be responsible because we don't know who else they may be having to look after and all those other kinds of things. But I hate this job. And sometimes you don't really have that space of mind to be looking for another job. But that's where you do have to go. That is really where you do have to go. You've got to have the courage to want to make yourself happy. You've got to have the courage to put yourself first.
Can I add to that? That I'll be really quick.
Yeah.
If they are in the position, you know, taking everything else we've said into account, but as Amanda said, if they are in the position where financially they can't stop, they've got dependents, whatever it may be, sometimes reframing it as, I'm not happy and I'm going to make steps to change it, but I am choosing to do this to support the, you know, because it is bringing abundance to my life to support those people around me. Like if it is that situation, sometimes flipping it into, I'm choosing to stay. I am going to leave, but I'm choosing to stay at this moment so that we are supported is not necessarily a bad thing. Because sometimes there's powerlessness and feeling stuck. But if you reframe that into, I'm choosing this, although I'm making changes, then sometimes that can help boost how you feel about yourself.
I think that everyone's brought up excellent points, and I don't have much to say other than kind of piggyback on what Lauren just said. I think that an action, even if it's mindset or taking a step to reach out and get an interview, what I really strongly disagree with, and I've had struggle with this all my life, is that trusting. A lot of people are like, well, I'm just going to quit and I'm going to trust in the universe to bring me whatever I need to do. But if you're not taking the steps and do the work, then it's not going to present itself in a very easy, clean, abundance, satisfying way. So definitely take action steps, even if that is addressing well-being, your environment, your relationships, internally, dialogue, etc. That's where I would start.
Yeah, and if it all feels too hard, because, you know, there could be a number of things, just do one thing. Just do one thing.
Baby steps.
One thing at a time.
Any action. Drink some water even.
Yeah. Well, that's grounding in itself because there's a physical action in the body. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a job that I hated. I absolutely hated. I was in that job for years. And by the time I came out of that job, I was crying. There were days when I'd come downstairs and look at all the stuff around me because I was working as a courier, and I would just cry. And then I would just get everything loaded up and get on with the day. And sometimes it would be 2, 3, 4 carloads that it meant that in order to finish the day, to finish the job. I didn't realize that by the time I came out of that job, I was quite depressed. So when I came out of it, I wasn't really in a good thinking space, and I was able to really leave the job because I came into an inheritance, you know, and but I think if I'd been in a better state of mind, I would have used that inheritance differently than what I did. But what I did was I went into hibernation for nearly a year because I didn't want to. The job was it broke my spirit and it broke my body as well. And I had to rebuild, but I just literally went into, I don't think I got out of bed. I don't think anybody realized that I was depressed. I didn't realize that I was depressed, but I was, and I was very sad. And also I think very sad on myself because I kept thinking, how did I do that? How did I put myself into that space and into that job like that? So it's takes everything. It takes the emotional, the mental, the physical, and the spiritual to hold that space for you. But going right back to the beginning before we go on, find that one person that you can have that conversation with and say, even if it says that I just hate in this right now and I don't really know what else to do, but I just need to get it out there. I think once they can release that, as in verbally express that, it opens up the possibilities of other things. That's a toughie, that one.
Well, blessings to you who wrote that in.
Yeah.
And
And thank you for sharing with us, as
Thank
Lauren
you.
said.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Okay, let's do one more quick one.
Oh boy.
And well, we'll
Quick,
do our
ladies.
best. Okay, quick. Okay. Should I open my third eye? I've
Oh
just
my
started
God.
spiritual journey and realized through shadow work that I'm more spiritual than I thought. And lately, I've been questioning everything while connecting more deeply with nature and consciousness. When I meditate, it feels like my third eye emits waves of white light that grows stronger the deeper I relax, sometimes feeling like I'm being pulled in before returning to normal, followed by subtle vibrations or tension. I know I'm unintelligent when it comes to the third eye, but I feel called to open it because I believe it would help me connect with my higher self through astral projection. Overall, I feel like I need answers or a safe plan to open my third eye or guidance on where to get information, frequencies, meditation positions, and next steps if I'm not ready. Anybody?
That's
I'm just gonna jump in on one
Can you
thing.
close your third eye?
I've got one. I've just got one
Kylie.
thing. One thing. They mentioned astral projection, and there is a lady named Jade Shaw in the UK. She's done a documentary on Gaia. She's got courses, all sorts of things. She's been doing astral projection since she was really young, and I really enjoy listening to her speak. And she's got exercises, all that sort of thing. So, if you're interested in astral projection, maybe find someone who has that experience to teach you. Kylie.
No, just do your research, start looking for YouTube videos that resonate, but I can just make sure that you have some sort of rituals, set in place, because this is the demon's favorite territory. Is the new, like, shiny new, oh great, someone who's not protected, brand new energy. Just set up your defenses and YouTube and research, find someone. You'll go to a bookstore and literally look at a book and pull a book off of, just intuitively guide yourself.
So in general,
So on the back of that, go.
Would it be, the first question is, should I open my third eye?
Okay.
Well, if
Is
you
that-
want to,
Can I answer that?
yeah, no,
Can I answer
like
That's tough.
Godspeed or don't.
No. Can I answer that?
Amanda. Yeah.
A third eye, or sorry, I say her, it could be he, I don't know. Sorry. The third eye, from what I've read, is already open.
Yeah.
Nobody else not realised that.
Well,
It's already open.
You can be cloaked from
it's
it.
open. Okay, so let me put it to you like this. All those other practices, they are practices. They are processes. Astral projection isn't the opening of the third eye. That's a practice that you can do. It's like remote viewing. It's like all those other different things that you can do, that you can learn about, that you may want to do. Her third eye, or that person's third eye, is already open. What is probably needed here is 100% like what, in a sense, Kylie was saying. There's a lot of places that this person is wanting to travel to, or there's things that she wants to do. So make sure that you have the necessary structures in place, which is what she's asking for, because she's saying that she doesn't really know what's happening. But those experiences that person is having, the third eye is already open. It's already open.
Do we give the third eye too much credit for our connection?
Absolutely, because for me as a Lightbody person is there's the fourth eye. On that structure as well of the third eye, there's actually your light language receptor, which you're not ever told about. I don't really work with the third eye, to be quite honest with you. I mean, like I said, I don't really work with chakras. However, as long as you have that belief and understanding in the system, then that system exists and it's working. But for me, with that person, your third eye is already open. What you are experiencing. If it wasn't open, you wouldn't be having the lights or seeing it or having all the energy and everything like that. It's open, but there's many different levels to it.
I think that I was going to say that I think there is a tendency. It's like when I spoke about awakening once, and I didn't really have a big awakening. I kind of feel like I just knew stuff all the time, and it's come to new levels and whatever. I think often, our third eye might be open and we just don't realize that it's actually open because it's always been open and we've always seen stuff. So I think there can be this tendency in the spiritual world to be like, I need to open my third eye and I need to do this and I need to do that. And sometimes it's actually already done. And I think that we kind of complicate it because we make it special, but it's actually a part of us. So it's not so much about doing it. It's about remembering or whatever it may be,
Yeah, it's already open. Can you just put that question back on the screen?
I sure can.
Just a moment, just quickly.
Overall, I feel like I need answers or a safe plan to open my third eye or guidance on where to get information, frequencies, meditation positions, and next steps if I'm not ready.
Well, clearly you're ready if you're asking the question.
That was something that I said today. You wouldn't ask it if it wasn't in your sphere. It's already you're already feeling it. And what Rachel said, the quote that she said, what you're seeking is already seeking you. It's already in place. It's already happening. What we constantly fail to realize and understand that we have been trained throughout time. And our DNA is holding it as well because of that's what's happened throughout generations, that these things are of no sort of, there's no sort of real purpose to you. So you think that you have to learn a particular way that this is happening, or you've got to open this thing, or you've got to do all this type of stuff and everything like that. But you don't. From what that person has written, their third eye is already opening. They are already having experiences. What they're asking for is, how do I go deeper?
And the biggest thing I feel like that stuck out, gosh, I can't speak today, was the safety bit. The first thing that I asked about was safety, and Kylie addressed that too. So get your safety in place, find some information, maybe find a teacher, maybe, Lightbody with Amanda.
That's because of the astral traveling or the astral projection. You've got to get somebody that is really, really good.
You really do.
And I think they all,
out there.
Yeah, but I do think they need to change the term astral projection, because the astral plane is not somewhere, I'm going to say it, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's not somewhere you really want to hang out in. You don't really. And I don't know why they call it astral projection. Maybe it's because it's the astral body that travels, but that's the understanding that
they do also call it like out of body experience, right? Like
I think it's more of an out of body experience or the ability to travel. But listen, there is some powerful energy that's forming within this person. You just got to learn how to anchor it, ground it, and how to use it.
You can join our Your Soul Wisdom collective, where we have resources.
Yes, you can.
On where to find how to ground and do this safely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. You've got lots of tools on board there.
Right. And so find like-minded people, find your community. You may be interested in just checking out the collective. Go to yoursoulwisdomshow.com. The link is on the bottom of the scroll, this banner over here. The collective, there's so many people on there. People have had experiences. People have information. Come join. 30 days for free for whoever wants to join. It's the brand new year, so get on it, everybody. Also, if you're interested in a reading, a healing, a guided meditation session, a light body activation, all the beautiful things, because I should have this memorized by now, right? Head on over to yoursoulwisdomshow.com. You'll find out all the information on these lovely 5 ladies here and more. And thank you for allowing us to create this beautiful space. And we hope you have a blessed day. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.